They didn't knock. They didn't call. They didn't warn us. Instead, they tried to evict my entire family over 2 inches of grass. I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. It was a quiet Saturday morning when Karen, the HOA enforcer, marched onto our lawn with a measuring ruler in one hand and a clipboard in the other. No greeting, no explanation, just pure entitlement. She stabbed the ruler into our grass like she was collecting evidence at a crime scene. Then she said the words that changed everything. You have 72 hours to comply, or eviction proceedings will begin. Eviction. For grass. My kids were standing behind the window watching this woman threaten to take their home because our lawn didn't meet her personal definition of acceptable. Karen smirked. She enjoyed it. She handed us a bright red violation notice labeled Final Warning, even though we had never received a first one. According to her, the HOA bylaws allowed them to declare our home uninhabitable due to negligent exterior maintenance. Over grass. That's when I realized this wasn't about rules. This was about power. Before this story gets crazier, pause for 1 second. Uh, like this video, subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Share this with someone who hates HOA abuse, and tell us where you're watching from in the comments, city and country. Because trust me, Karen was just getting started. By Monday morning, the situation had already turned hostile. Karen didn't come alone this time. She returned with 2A board members, both wearing those fake professional smiles that disappear the moment you ask real questions. One of them carried a camera. The other carried another clipboard, thicker than the last one. Karen announced loudly so the neighbors could hear, "We're documenting noncompliance." Our lawn had been cut, trimmed, measured. It didn't matter. Karen crouched down again, pressed the ruler into the grass, and shook her head dramatically. Still overregulation. This property is now classified as a repeat offender. Repeat offender in 48 hours. That's when she dropped the next bomb. The HOA had voted, without notifying us, to begin forced compliance. If we didn't pay for an HOA-approved landscaping company by the end of the week, they would hire one themselves and bill us $4,800. Failure to pay would trigger legal action. Legal action turns into liens. Liens turn into foreclosure. Foreclosure turns into eviction. All over grass. My kids were crying. One asked if we were going to lose the house. Karen didn't even look at them. She just smiled at the camera and said, "This is what happens when homeowners refuse to follow community standards." That's when neighbors started coming outside. Phones came out, whispers spread. People were realizing this could happen to anyone. Karen noticed the attention, and for the first time, her confidence flickered. But instead of backing down, she doubled down, and that's when we decided to fight back. Karen underestimated two things: how tired we were and how much proof we had. That night, I pulled out every HOA document I could find: bylaws, amendments, fine schedules, enforcement procedures. Page by page, highlight by highlight, and buried deep in the paperwork was the clause Karen was hoping we'd never read. Before eviction or forced compliance, homeowners must receive 3 written warnings over a 30-day period. We had received one, dated 2 days ago, not 3, not 30 days. The next morning, I emailed the HOA board, calmly, professionally, attaching screenshots, timestamps, and photos of our trimmed lawn. I quoted their own bylaws word for word. No emotions, just facts. Karen responded within 10 minutes. Not with an apology, with a threat. She accused us of harassment, warned that recording HOA interactions was against community rules, and informed us that any further resistance would be considered defiance. That was her mistake, because the neighbors had already sent me videos. Clear footage of Karen measuring different lawns differently, ignoring overgrown yards owned by board members, targeting us repeatedly. By evening, the videos were everywhere. Group chats, Facebook, neighborhood forums. People started sharing their own Karen stories, fines, threats, intimidation. The narrative flipped. Karen wasn't enforcing rules anymore. She was abusing power. And when the HOA emergency meeting was announced for Friday night, Karen walked in confident. She had no idea her reign was about to collapse. Friday night, the HOA board meeting started tense. Karen strutted in, clutching her measuring tape, ready to intimidate. Fear, respect. Instead, she got scrutiny. Neighbors stood up one by one, presenting photos, videos, and written logs. Every overreach, every selective fine, every intimidation tactic, all documented. Her power evaporated in real time. Board members whispered, flipping through bylaws and Karen's own emails. Her claims of authority were hollow. Procedural errors stacked against her. Every word she spoke was countered with evidence. The room was silent, except for murmurs of shock and disbelief. Karen tried one last attempt to regain control, raising her voice, insisting she was enforcing community standards. But her audience didn't fear her anymore. They were done. By the end of the meeting, the HOA had no choice but to revoke her enforcement privileges. Fines were rescinded, policies were reviewed. Karen left red-faced, humiliated, and powerless, the neighborhood whispering about her antics for months to come. And us? We learned the most important lesson of all. Knowledge is power. Documentation beats intimidation, and standing up for what's right can change the game. Question for you. If you've ever dealt with a toxic HOA or a Karen enforcer, what happened? Share your story in the comments. I'll be reading them. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know where you're watching from.